Alright, just pulling up my page. Make sure we have audio. Just pulling up my page. We do. Mute that. Alrighty, let's get going here. Alrighty, live from Cabot, Arkansas. It is Ramsey Coach, Coach D Money number 33. It is what, August the 20th, 2023. And if you, I'm Coach D Money, by the way, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachdmoney. That appointment will be done via video conferencing, probably Google Meet. And you can do that at calendly.com/coachdmoney. That's calendly.com/coachdmoney. The link is also in the video description. You can email me about coaching or anything else that is on your mind on my channel, coachdmoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money, and of course the YouTube channel is youtube.com/coachstevemoney. So how about we get into it? As soon as I get set up here, still trying to get used to the new setup. There we go, so I can see the chat if anybody chats. And normally what I do is go to the Reddit, but also normally I have this show on Saturday night. I went to bed early instead because I was way tired. And so sometime I'll perhaps get the show to where it's on the same day on the weekend and at the same time, and we'll see if we can get more people joining in live, but most people do watch it after the fact. And that probably wouldn't change even if I had it at the same time every time. So mostly, like I said, I go to this show, I answer questions and comment on things on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. But today is going to be an all Facebook, unless I run out of Facebook questions. Unless I run out of those, then we'll go to answer a few Facebook. Well, we'll see how it goes. But all of Dave Ramsey's plan is based on these 7 baby steps. Let's go through them, shall we? Oh, I forgot in plugs. I forgot to say that there will be a Ramsey Show after show on Wednesday the 23rd, and also one on Thursday the 31st of August as well. After shows those days because I am off work and so I can do them. Also plugs, later after the show I will be doing laundry, so that's not really a plug, but it's important to do. All right, so the 7 baby steps, and that is the foundation of the Ramsey plan. Makes it very easy, although people continuously have trouble fitting their individual situations in with these baby steps for some reason. Maybe because they're too close to the situation, and if they are pretty well off financially, but they do have debt, they don't like the idea of being in baby step 2, but hey, that's where you are. If that's where you are, that's where you are. Anyway, so let's go through those really quickly. Step 1, save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. Save 3 to 6 months expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Invest 15% of your household income into retirement is step 4. Step 1, 2, and 3 you do separately in order. Steps 4, 5, and 6 you do at the same time in order. So again, that's 15% of your gross household income in your retirement. Step 5, if you have kids and if you want to help them, if both of those things are true, then you would address that in step 5. And that doesn't need to be anything major. You would have however much you want to have by the time that they're 18. You take the number of months until they are 18 and then divide that by the amount of money that you want to have, divide that into the amount of money that you want to have, and then that'll tell you how much you need to put away per month. You can also figure in investing if you are going to be investing that money in some type of way while you wait for them to turn 18. Step 6, pay off home early, and then after that, so you limit your investing to 15% while you're still paying off your house. So once you pay the house off early, then you can invest whatever you want. You can invest that whole mortgage payment and anything extra you want as well, because step 7 is build wealth and give, and that's how that can work out. Speaking of the baby steps, I have 2 baby step songs now. If you go to my page, excuse me, go to my page and scroll down here, you get to the music playlist and you can see there is a Dave Ramsey baby step song. That's the original one. It says 1 year ago. I think it's pretty close to 2 years ago. And that one is to the tune of Love Yourself, written by Ed Sheeran, performed by Justin Bieber. The John Deloney song, John Deloney, to My Sharona, by the Knack. And also there's me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. And I guess that's why we all love Rachel Cruz. And the Jade Warshaw song, Detfart Warshaw and Warshaw one, Detfart Warshaw and Warshaw one. It's hard to sing with all those syllables in there. Anyway, and an even harder song to sing, the baby stepping song to Dua Lipa's Levitating. And a brand new song on the next after show, which is on Wednesday the 23rd of August, and that will be the Lifestyle Creep song. All right, so let's get going with the questions. And yes, I did not scroll back up. All right, so this must be where it begins, I guess. Okay, so we got the house graphic. I think this may be gettable from the RamseySolutions.com website, maybe. This person said, well, it's not impressive when you first start. Here's our baby step 6 mortgage payoff chart. Each balloon represents a $5,000 payment, only 58 more to go. All right, but I mean, that's two done. That's better than 60. So, and they're going to pay it off in 5 years from now. Excellent. Selling the house in Texas, and I'll be pocketing around $150K. Closing is scheduled tomorrow. Have no debt, no student loans, cash flowed masters thanks to this group. No major bills aside from my New York City rent. That's going to be up there. I don't plan on buying anything anytime soon, maybe in a couple years. Where's the best place to park this money until I'm ready to buy again? Oh, that's right. This is two different posts, different people. What's the best place to park this money until I'm ready to buy again? Money market, CDs, bank with Chase, as well as the local credit union through my hospital. You own a hospital? Thank you. All right. So if you have 5 years, you can put that in the market, and which it should average 10% per year. Growth on that amount. And so that if you're sure you're not going to buy in 5 years, then that's fine. Otherwise, it would be a money market / high yield savings account that you would put that in. Dave does not recommend CDs, and that, you know, especially if you have 5 years, there's nothing that's going to beat the market. And if you do that, if you save money for purchase in the market, Dave does recommend an S&P 500 index fund for that. That is what he uses to save money and let it grow while he waits to find good deals on real estate. And so that's what he does. That's what he advises. Baby step 3, feeling a little frustration. I've had some people suggest that I use credit cards. Of course you have. And I don't want to give in their advice. Then don't. I feel defeated each time I'm told to take on debt. What you say is no. Negatory, good buddy. What can I say to people to quell that particular recommendation? I don't use debt is a good one. No, thank you. You can do that. Or do I just leave it alone and continue with what I'm doing with the steps? Thank you. Yes. You do kind of have, I mean, it's best, you don't have to, but it's best if you accept that you, even though you're cool, even though you were the cool kid before, now you're the weirdo. When you don't use credit cards or loans for stuff, you are the weirdo in this situation. So you embrace being weird is what you generally have to do. But basically, nobody else's opinion matters except yours. Because guess what? They're not, I mean, you know, if they were giving you money, then maybe you listen to some of their advice. At least listen to it. But they're not giving you money. They don't have to pay your bills. They don't get a vote. So I understand you want to probably be around people that understand what you're doing, but nobody really will unless they're doing the exact same thing. And so again, that's why this group, in this particular group, these are questions from the Facebook group, and that is run by Ramsey Solutions. The Ramsey Baby Step Community is the name of it. And if you want a forum run by the Ramsey Solutions folks, that would be it. Anything close to that, but not exactly that, is going to be the wrong one. There are a bunch of different Ramsey groups on there, including, last time I knew, there were 3 different Ramsey dating sites. And I hear that there are a bunch of married people on those. So that's not really that helpful as far as dating. But anyway, I do recommend bringing up Dave on the first date. That way there's not a problem. That way there's no hidden money mindset. And then you find that out, 4 years after you're married, that kind of thing. So bring that up on the first date, definitely. So yeah, you continue. I mean, you can leave it alone, or you can just tell them you don't use debt. We can still be friends, but I'm not going to do that anymore. So that's part of Baby Step 0. Baby Step 0, the Missing Baby Steps video is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I just need to learn how to make good videos first. Let's see. Or do you... Yep, so I think we're done with that one. Our 86-year-old neighbor died in March with no will, so her family is now able to begin settling her estate. They found a life insurance policy that her mother had purchased for her at 16 in 1953. Premiums unknown, but surprisingly were current. Yeah, people just on like old life insurance policies, regardless of how smart they are, they just keep paying them. She had paid for 70 years on this policy. They submitted the death certificate and were issued a check for a whopping $620. How can that be right? I get that the burden was on the policyholder to do her homework, but it seems so wrong that they continue taking her money for something that was basically worthless. Well, how do you think they get all those tall buildings? That's how they do it. The son just laughs at the absurdity. Yeah, this is a good example of how important estate planning and review of finances are to ensure your estate isn't tied up for months or years and that investments are worthwhile. So that could be one thing. That could be, it could be that if she owed any money, if she had any debts, then the estate, the assets of the estate would be tapped to pay those before the policy was given, or they would give the policy and that would have to take care of the estate. So it all depended on how it go. Now, a 70-year-old life insurance policy being worth 620. Now, I mean, whole life is bad, but that even sounds even worse than whole life. So I'm thinking it's something like that, like they paid, even though it was submitted. So maybe this person that posted this doesn't have the whole story from the family. Maybe that's what's left over and they weren't issued the check for the 620. Or maybe that was a check that came out of the estate when closing the estate, perhaps. But yeah, even whole life would have paid the death benefit. But they keep the insurance portion. That's why it's better for you to get term life to get the death benefit. And then as far as the investment stuff, if you do the investing yourself, then that investment survives you. It doesn't survive you. Well, it survives you if you have whole life, but the insurance company keeps it. Again, that's how they have all those tall buildings. So yes, definitely gotta make sure. That's a thing like what's the thing that grandmas used to like to buy? Savings bonds as well. So on those things, and like they take 20 years to mature, that kind of thing. So that generally a bad rate of return as well. I'm weird. Okay. Yep. This is what I'm talking about. Embrace it. Embrace it. If you're doing this stuff, you are weird. I mean, in weird, that means out of the norm. And so you're not doing what everybody else is doing, which is being fine with having debt. Baby step number 2, made my list of debts. I know it's bad, but good news, I got myself a second job. Excellent. I'll try to give update every 2 weeks, same day of my payday. How's everyone doing? We got this. All right, so let's check out this list of debts. Lowest one is 311.66. All right, interesting. The $ afterwards. Visa financing. Oh my goodness, affirm that you're buy now, pay later. and later. Visa financing. I wonder what the numbers are on there. AC, $1,000. Okay. Maybe you had to buy a portable unit. Or maybe that was to fix HVAC. Don't know. Visa financing again. Visa loves this person. Visa better send you a Christmas card every year. PCU, politically correct university. I don't know what that would be. $1,700. Flexity, I don't know what that is too. That sounds like that might be a buy now, pay later thing as well. Don't know. Visa again, and MasterCard. Finally going over to the dark side from Visa, but for 2 of them. And I assume this is, I think this is over in the England maybe, because I think they do spaces instead of commas for the 1,000th place. Student loan, 6,496. So I mean that's not crazy, but you see all these do add up. A Mazda, $8,000. All these do add up, $43,983.26. So yeah, I mean you just have to think, yeah, I did a lot of stupid. What did this stuff buy? What did these buy? If you have any of this stuff and you're not using it regularly, sell it. Sell it, whatever this stuff bought. My goodness. All right, next question. I know this is vague, but I am not the type to put all my business out there. Okay, fine. And I have friends in this group. Okay. Looking for some general guidelines as I look to buy a different car in the next year. Nothing wrong with mine, but it is a 2003. Okay, had it for 17 years, so I'm ready to get ready for a new ride. I'm struggling with why buy one if this one still gets me from point A to point B and it's very reliable and I work from home. Why buy? Who's telling you to buy one? I'm on baby steps 4 and 6. Daughter's grown, okay, so no 5 there, so you get to skip. So basically you're on 6, paying off the house. 4 continues forever, so once you start it, you no longer have to say that. You can just go with the last one. And doing very well on step 4, excellent. Investing almost 20 years. How do I determine a reasonable amount to spend on a car? I know Dave says never buy new unless you have $1 million net worth. That's net worth, so that would include the amount of equity in that house. For those below that, does he give a guideline like percentage of net worth? He gives the guideline of you should not have your amount of things with motors. So probably for you it would be 1 car at a time. Thing with motors and wheels, that should be no more than half of your annual income. So if you make $60,000, you buy a $30,000 car, but you have to buy it with cash. That's all. I'm still working in 55. Receive a letter. Oh, that's the next one. Okay, that's the next one. So yeah, about the car. If you're just 1 car and you're single household, so it depends on what you make per year, and you can go with half of that. That is Dave's guideline on that. Okay, next question. I'm still working and I'm 55. Join the club. I received, a letter of a pension to start at 55, which had $36,000 in it. Should I take the small pension or put it in a brokerage account? I have debts of $15,000. If you can get it out without a penalty that's going to take some of it away, then yes, get it all out, pay off this debt, and then you put the rest towards whatever baby step you're on. Having debts of $15,000, you should still be in baby step 2, so you shouldn't have the full emergency fund. So the other $21,000 of that, some of that could be the emergency fund, or all of it could be the emergency fund, depending on what your expenses are per month. 3 to 6 months of expenses. So if there is a penalty for taking a lump sum amount out of the pension, then in that case probably just take the per month thing. And if you have beyond the debt, if you have a full emergency fund already saved up, which means you're doing it wrong, but we work with the things the way they are now, whether you did it wrong or not. Maybe you didn't know about Dave. And so if you already have that filled up, then you're on step 4, and so then you could put all the $21,000 into investing. Let's see, paid off one of our 2 credit cards last night. Feels so good. I didn't include the image. There was an image of a phone app where it said, I think it was Chase, a Chase credit card, and it said 0 balance. So cool. On baby step 6, just paid an extra $15,000 in principal on our mortgage. $179,998 to go. See, this is the comma for the 1,000 place. This is how we do it in the America. Seems like this is taking forever. How do you stay motivated? Well, it's a lot of money. And better for this part to take forever, step 6, than step 2, right? So that would motivate me. But let's see, we've been doing the Dave Ramsey plan for 5 years now, right? Have paid off around 160K. So I feel like we aren't even halfway there yet. Whoa. But you have so much more income now, though. I mean, you have so much more things because you don't have other debt. You have all of that going into the mortgage now, unless you have lifestyle creep. Debuting Wednesday on the after show on Wednesday. Is this same? I think this is a different question, I believe. So, but as far as the not even halfway there yet. No, but again, it should go quicker. You should be able to do the house in less time because you're not paying on those other bills, unless now you're spending that money elsewhere on fun stuff, which you certainly can do. You can put vacations and stuff in the budget, but once you're home on vacation, you're not trying to like spend every extra money and go out to eat 3-4 times a week at sit down restaurants. You're not doing that. You're still trying to stay slightly gazelle intense and get that house paid off. So the motivation is just to be completely out of debt, which puts you into way better situation for retirement. So that's the motivation for me. Different people motivated by different things, so you may have to find something like maybe once you've done that, then you can take that money and invest it all that you're putting to a mortgage now, and that could motivate you to get to that point. It could take a trip around the world. You could put all the money into saving for that trip after you pay the house off, that kind of thing. So just depends on what motivates you. Everybody's different on that. Guess I am just venting a little. We are on Baba Step Dos. We are Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4, Step 5. That's the levitating thing. The new Baby Step song. Baby stepping. And we keep running into house maintenance. That's why, that can happen in this situation, even if she's following the correct rules, if she's doing it correctly, that can still happen if you have the house before you find out about Dave, or if you incorrectly find out about Dave and say you're following the baby steps, but then you buy a house when you're on step 1 or 2 anyway, which you're not supposed to do that. So let's see. Have lived in a home for about 5 years. Okay, so assume that they had the home, they bought the house already. And so you can't, you don't necessarily have to sell a house when you start the Ramsey program, only if it is like, say, if the mortgage is much more than you'd be paying for rent, and if it's just if that amount is way more than 25% of your take-home pay per month, and then your house poor, and then you can't make progress on your baby step 2, and then 3, and then 4. You got baby steps to do. You You can't be house poor and do those at the same time. That's why the advice is the advice. Had to take out money for a set of twin furnaces the night we had our first kid. Had to, all right? I mean, I know you need heat, but the had to, you chose to. So, I mean, maybe you felt like that was the only choice, that kind of thing, but you chose to do that. You did not have to do that. Nobody made you. And so I'm wondering if that's a home equity line of credit, some kind of debt probably. And so that just adds to step 2 then. A year later, we had to put in a sump pump and get the basement, which is still in studs at the moment. Okay. At what point does it become, do you become not able to fund that and call it quits on the house? Maybe you have to sell it. Again, it depends on, I don't know if this person says, we'll see, if she says how much of their monthly income, take-home pay, that the mortgage payment is. We'll see. We have 2 windows that have cracked and need to be replaced, which of course are floor to ceiling, custom sizes. Oh my goodness. Got to love old houses. You don't have to. You could sell them. And tonight our water heater went out. That thing just keeps, that's a money pit type of house there. I feel like we will be stuck on baby step 2 forever. Obviously. That sounds like a Viosilu. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Obviously, our $1,000 emergency fund didn't and won't cover all this stuff over and over again, right? So we acquired a bit more debt. Darn right you did. Sure you did. How did you all stay motivated? You got to find ways to do it without debt. I know that's easier said than done, but baby step 0, part of baby step 0 is you decide debt's not on the table anymore, and so you work something out. And again, if this house is the problem, then you need to sell the house. I feel like we pay off one loan just to get another because there have been things we have to get done right away and don't have the extra yet. I mean, a crack in a window, if you had to, you could just put tape on it, put duct tape on it. I don't care what it looks like. Just put duct tape on the crack in the window. And that can be done at a different time. See, that's where people like, oh, this, this does. Or like, say you have a small leak in the bathroom, that kind of thing. And then people take out loans and do a whole bathroom remodel instead of just fixing the problem. And so, again, the had to is not had to. It's you chose to do that. So, yeah. So, it's just bad luck. Definitely bad luck with that house. Again, it may be time to call it quits on the house. I would definitely consider it, especially if it's north of 25% of your take-home pay. All right, at 48, I wish I'd found all this earlier in life. Absolutely, just made a step forward, no wife or kids. So maybe I'll be moving on to step 6. 67K to go. Congratulations. And of course, we all wish we had started it earlier. So you just try to teach your kids the correct way, and then they get the benefit of your earlier mistakes. Feeling like I'm not moving forward anymore, debt-free, semi-retired, not really working but collecting a pension instead for income. Want to travel but tied down to my girlfriend's house, mortgage, and animals. That's a choice right there, my friend. Want to travel but tied down to my girlfriend's house and animals. You need to choose there. That is your choice. And you don't have to do either of these things. You don't have to travel. You don't have to be tied down to your girlfriend's house, mortgage, and animals. And so you shouldn't be, if you're living there, you shouldn't be doing that either without getting married. Not much in retirement and not sure what I should do. You didn't say how old you were. You could work some more. You could work some more. You need main thing you need to decide what you should do is what you want. If you want to be with her, then you be with her instead of traveling. Or you could be with her and traveling, but you do have to work out that money part. And if you're going to do money stuff with her, sounds like you're at least chipping in for the mortgage, I would guess. So if you're going to do that, why not get married then? So you just need to decide what you want to do there. And you can do whatever you want, regardless of whether it fits the Ramsey plan or not. It's your money. You can do whatever you want, but Dave isn't recommending being tied down to a girlfriend's home mortgage or animals. Gabby DVJ, somebody posted this post by this person. This is one of the worst traits is my core belief that I deserve a little $6 coffee every time I run a mildly unpleasant errand. Yeah, or any errand at all is what a lot of the kids do these days. Yeah, and that is how they get you. You don't need that. If you want coffee, you can make it at the crib. See, I'm not new to Dave Ramsey. My dad talked about him throughout my childhood, but I am new to actively working on the baby steps. I've never had any debt. Excellent. Until about a year and a half ago. Oh, my boyfriend and I, have paid off about $5K of our $20K debt in the last 6 months. My boyfriend is very new to Dave Ramsey, so he's learning a lot as we go. Visit is excited to work through the steps. That's great that he's excited about it. That's great that you're on the same page. Dave isn't going to sign off on combining finances with a boyfriend. If you can combine finances, why not get married? I don't make very much money, but I just got a new job. I start next week. Excellent. This job is really going to change my life. I'm moving from working retail to being a dental assistant. It's going to more than double my annual income. Excellent. I truly believe in what Dave says when he talks about changing your family tree. My family never had much money growing up. My mom and I were homeless for a while when I was a baby. We never really moved up much financially through my lifetime. I still live with my family. 8 of us in 3-bed, 2-bath, and my parents are in a camper in the driveway. That's for the people that that have a child, they have one child, and then they think they have to move out of a 3-bedroom house and get a 5-bedroom house for their growing family. Yeah, so you can do 8 in a 3-bed, 2-bath, and so that's probably tight, but it can be done. I'm just so tired of feeling stuck in life and never being able to afford to move out. I'm so excited to be on this journey. I know we can do it, and I know someday we will be in a much better place financially. We're making so much progress, and I'm so proud of us for committing to this adventure. We're taking it one day at a time, and so happy to be a part, that's 2 words, a part of this group. Excellent. I don't know where that O came from. Maybe that was my fault. I would like some advice on what to do. I have a boot, 2K in savings plus the 1K emergency fund. Now that looks weird. Step 1 says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund plus save 2 more K. It doesn't say that. It says pay off all debt using the snowball, which is items smallest to largest, like that one list was nicely for us. It does not say anything about 2K in savings. Oh, maybe she's just starting, or he. I know that if I follow the baby steps, I can clear up with those 2K. Yep, at least 3 credit cards. But my Chase card has the highest balance and the APR is 25%. So the interest will be approximately $200. I put the T-Mobile separate just because as part of my bill, and getting rid of those will only decrease my bill about $50 a month. I have that huge urge to just drop it on the big card and lower the balance. However, I know the steps advice. I don't know, maybe follow the steps. It's worked for 30 years, millions of documented cases, success stories, millions of documented success stories. Maybe follow the steps. So that's all his expenses there. And so it's hidden in a bill. So see, since it's hidden in your phone bill, since it's separate, it's part of your phone bill. That is how they get you. It's still debt though. So you should still count that as debt. And that would probably be one of your lowest ones. So that one would probably be first. Yeah, see, you didn't do it right. You did them in the incorrect order. You did them highest to lowest. So that would be wrong. The advice would be to follow the baby steps. You, of course, can do whatever you want to, whatever you think is best. Here's the problem with what you want to do is put it here, and then that still doesn't pay it off. That only lowers it by $2,000. So it's still going to be $7,000 at 25%. And whose fault is that? Yours, for getting into that mess in the first place. Why would you do 25% interest? It seems like it must have been late or something like that to go into 25% interest. So again, your fault. We've all done stupid stuff. I've done stuff that was my fault, but you have to take responsibility for it. And so I would, at this point, stop thinking so much that you might know the best way and use a proven way. And that, of course, would be the baby steps. And that's going to be the advice. If you caught him, he would say, follow our advice. What's your advice? Follow our advice. What do you do with your leftover money? Like you budget $300 for food and you only spend $295. You celebrate, first of all. And then that $5 you can send to whatever baby step you're on. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you send out that $5 immediately to whatever. If you're on baby step 2 or if you're in baby step 3, you just put it with your emergency fund savings. That doesn't necessarily mean that you could do that the next month. The zero-based budget doesn't mean you have zero in your checking account at any time, because you have to be able to pay bills and expenses from one paycheck to the other. So you probably can't have a zero balance in your checking account. So there does have to be a little bit of sludge money in there to cover you until the next paycheck for any amount of bills or expenses you have in that remaining time before you get the next paycheck. But any money, here's the answer to this, is any extra money is applied to whatever baby step you're on. And that makes it easy as well. So easy. I have never paid cash for a car. Excellent. Well, here's the first for us, and it felt amazed. Totes amazed. In July, we bought this for our daughter for $7,400. Asking, I think they put a nice picture of it. Oh, excuse me, sleeping. Asking price was $7,900, but my husband was able to say, I have a check here for cash, and I'll give you $7,400 right now. And it worked. Discount with cash. Absolutely. It is a sweet 2015 Mazda CX-5 with a white leather interior. It's beautiful and all ours. We had previously paid off 2 auto loans in baby step 2, and now have 4 paid for cars. Excellent. I wonder where the other one came from. That's a lot of cars, but maybe they have their 2 teenage drivers. Perhaps. Hi friends, I wanted to pick y'all's brains and see what would the baby steps community do. We have $237,000 left on our mortgage. We're baby steps 4 through 6. We're investing 15% of our income. Should be of gross income. Just started at $529 for our new baby girl. She was born in February, like I was saying. So you have 18 years before she will need the money for college. So you just need to do a little bit per month to address that. You can even not address it for 3 or 4 years if that will let you pay off the mortgage that much quicker, but that's up to you. And now we're looking to focus on paying our paying off our home early. I can read. We just bought our home back in November 2022. Okay. 15-year fixed. That's what Dave recommends. Our income is around $124K a year. 124, 250, and 310 or so. So yeah, they actually went under what Dave would recommend for payment. Their payment should probably be a little bit less than 25% of their net income, or right at it, something like that. So they did well on that. So with all this facts, how quick would you pay the house off if you were in our shoes? Well, you put everything extra toward it. How much would you put extra towards the mortgage each month? Thanks for input. I'm mostly looking for feedback and inspiration, as I don't know how intense to be or if we should chill out. Somewhat. Just wanted some perspective from people who understand why I'm even asking the question. At this point, you're investing the 15%. You've addressed kid college, and you're putting extra on the mortgage. You can put fun stuff into the budget. You can cash flow some fun stuff, or if you even have to save up money to like take a trip or something, you can do that. And so you just have to consider every time you're doing something like that. Well, you know, it's like, do I want to go to France? That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty fun. Do I want to go to Disney World? That would be cool. That would be pretty fun. Or do I want to put that $5,000 on the house instead? You know, you just got to think, which one is going to make you happier. And if like, one spouse, seems like they really need that vacation, especially if you've, been grinding from baby step 1 to 6. You've earned it. You've earned it. A lot of people, think, oh, we deserve it. A lot of people say that for just living life. Oh, we deserve it. No, Dave often says, I think, you deserve to not have any debt. Let's see. Has anyone used Splash Financial to refinance their student loans? I've been taking advantage of the no interest payments for the past 5 years to knock the principal down as much as I can before refinancing. Now, how smart was that? No, people didn't do that. Like 1% of people with student loans paid on them during the forbearance or whatever it was called. Tried refinancing directly through Nelnet, but they want to use both our combined income and place me under an income-driven repayment option. Plus, they want to jack my monthly payment up higher than, not then. What'd you learn at that school of yours with those student loans? Higher than what? You don't need the word what there either. A lot of people throw that word what in there. Higher. Let's fix that first. Then there we go. That looks better. Okay, and then a lot of people throw that word in there. Why do you need that? We're not in Congress here. You're not getting paid by the word, making a proclamation. lot of people do that. The first person I heard do this was Troy Aikman on a football telecast, and he was like, "Then what he was before." No, it's then he was before, and that's fine. So you don't need that. Okay, back to Ramsey stuff. This has been your English Language Minute on Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. They want to jack my monthly payment up higher than I am currently paying. That sounds better. Along with extending out the life of my loan. And that is how they get you. That is why you don't want to have loans. None of which makes any sense to me. Right. So interested to hearing thoughts from others. You can try Splash. The only thing I've heard about Splash, I don't think Dave recommends them anymore. He did for a while. And they only do, or they did at the time, they only refinance student loans. That was their specialty. And the two people I know that tried it didn't make enough money to qualify for those. So I do not know what's going on there with that. So I don't have any personal experience other than what I've heard from those two people, that both of them did not make enough money to qualify for the Splash Financial. But I don't think there's any problem with using them. I don't think there's any. I think they give lower interest rates on it than you would currently be paying. I don't know, like how much of a time frame they give you and so forth to pay that off, though. All right, so this person posted this from Grand Saline Middle School. We're so excited to introduce a brand new elective class at GSMS Dollars and Cents, or Foundations in Personal Finance. Classes based on content from the finance guru Dave Ramsey, and is taught by Coach Kenny Laprade. What a treasure for our students to gain this knowledge as 7th, 8th graders. Absolutely. Today's lesson: live in less than you make. Imagine that. This involves me controlling me. More great lessons to come. Excellent. Excellent. This Foundations in Personal Finance is in slightly, the last time Dave said, is it slightly less than, is like in the high 40% percentage of the American high schools. So out of all the American high schools, it's in a little less than half, and it obviously needs to be in 100% of high school classrooms. Let's see, y'all, we did it. After 2 years, my wife and I are debt-free. 54K of student loan done. Oh, it looks so good on the 54K of student loan done. We promised we would be done before our daughter's first birthday, which is Saturday. Excellent. So that was probably yesterday. Congratulations to them. Excellent. Let's see, and on the opposite end of the spectrum, feeling a little defeated right now since I've moved into some of the larger debt of my snowball and baby step 2, right? Well, I mean, that it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer now than it did to pay off the smaller debt. And so if you want to have the same feeling of burning through it, then you need to increase income or lower expenses or both. So if you hadn't started a secondary income, second job before, maybe now would be the time, but that would be what Dave would do. Keep trucking. 0%. Okay, the percentage never matters. Never matters. Balance transfer, credit card balance. Okay, well, that could have made you feel like you did something. You didn't do anything. I mean, maybe you saved a little bit of interest, but you just moved it from one place to the other. It's still the same amount of debt plus whatever fees it was. So you gotta. A lot of people just look at the balance, or the interest rate on it. Oh, it's going to be 0% for a while. Well, you have to pay that off before the whatever time ends, 6 months, a year, whatever the time is, before you have to pay that off, or that will become a interest rate that you have to pay on that. So people don't think past that though. And like I said, they don't consider the fee also. They generally do not transfer the money for free and give you a 0% balance as well. So you got to consider that as well when doing that. But basically, that's just moving it here from there, regardless of whether you save a little bit of interest or not. You still owe the same amount, and if they charge a fee, you actually owe more than you did before. So you're not doing anything by moving it around. Car loan, 60 months love balance, that's 5 years. $955 a month. $1,000 a month. I don't pay $1,000 a month for this fabulous apartment. My goodness. I haven't sold because I would be upside down by $5,000. Sell it. This is your problem. $44,991. Sell it. You would be upside down by $5,000. Okay. Hey, you know what would be better than a $44,991 loan? Would be a $5,000 loan. This is one of the rare exceptions. I can only think of this, and for a mortgage for a house that you live in, that Dave actually does recommend debt. And he would absolutely recommend that you get a $5,000 loan to pay the difference in what you can sell this for and what you owe on it, to get rid of the $955 a month payment. For it to be that high, I mean, it's a $45,000 car, so, but still, to be that high, probably negative equity in a previous car as well. And so if you keep doing that, negative equity, the amount per month is just going to keep going up. So yes, sell that immediately. Haven't sold because I would be upside down by $5,000. That's not a reason not to sell. That's exactly why you should sell. Because again, $5,000 loan is better than a $45,000 loan. Student loan debt, $100,000 split between 3 service providers. Got to pick a repayment plan. Please be making a lot of money for that $1,000 student loan, please. Please, please, please. $80K is federal, mostly unsubsidized loans. $15K is Texas Cal loans, $384 a month. Okay, so we are... Oh, this is the 3. Okay, then I thought this was on top of the 100. I was going to add it. 180, 195, over 200,000 now. So no, this is the breakdown. Looks like it's about 101,000 something. With payments going back into repayment, yep, gonna pay them starting September, I think. I have no idea how I'm supposed to afford an $800 payment on student loans on a single income where I pay rent and utilities of taking home $5,000 a month. Please help on some strategies. What would Dave do? Take home $5,000 a month. That's not bad. You might have to move down an apartment. Sell that car. That gets rid of $1,000 a month. That gives you back $1,000 a month, and you buy the cheapest car you can that gets you from A to B. She doesn't say any other, the credit card balance of $5,000. so she does have to pay that off within X amount of time. So yeah, so trade in, trade the, get a brand new fun $5,000 loan to replace that $45,000 loan that you have on the car. That's the one thing. And then I feel like when you graduated, you suffered some lifestyle creep. Instead, be a weirdo. Why the heck are you in debt? So that is little preview of Lifestyle Creep, the new Lifestyle Creep song that will be debuting on Wednesday's after show. Alrighty, so let's see where. Oh, so what are we on a single income? How am I supposed to afford it? How were you affording it previously before the repo? Maybe you're one of the people that one of the kids, those crazy kids today that graduated with the forbearance happening, and so you've never had the joy of it. So you have no idea. The time to have no idea how you were going to afford that would have been when you signed up for those student loans. Now, $5,000 sounds like a decent one. I don't know what field you're in. But yeah, you might have to do that, and you might have to do a part-time job as well. And you cut expenses to the bone. That's what I said, the lifestyle creep thing. Oh, I'm out of college now, and I'm making $5,000 a month. I guess I can go crazy. No, the time you went crazy was when you signed up for $100,000 in student loans and bought I guess, a $50,000 car. You didn't buy it, you financed it. So that was when you shouldn't have had any idea on how you're supposed to do that. But kids do that all the time. I mean, 18 for a lot of people, that's not old enough, that's not wise enough to be able to sign for that kind of stuff. But they are adults, so that's the way it goes. So now's the time to pay the piper. So now is where you kick your butt into gear, you lower your expenses to nothing, you live like a broke college student, like Dave is fond of saying. You get rid of any lifestyle creep that has happened in your life. You buy a very cheap car for cash, and then you don't have that $1,000 a month going out for a car. You don't have that going out anymore, and then you can put that on the loans and start to pay those back. That will, guess what? Look at that, $800 payment on the student loans. That gives you even a $200 extra payment that you can make on the student loans. Well, on whatever your lowest debt is, which would be this. Get rid of this 0%. Balance credit card transfer first. So, my goodness gracious me. So that would be the strategies to stop doing pretty much everything you're doing right now. Stop your entire way of thinking. And so what would Dave do? You knew enough to ask, what would Dave do? You join this the Ramsey Baby Steps community Facebook group. So you may have heard a show or two, so you should have some idea, but again, people look at that number and 60 months left on the car and that amount there and that amount per month, and $100,000 in student loans, and then paying rent and utilities. Rent and utilities isn't the problem. The problem is the payment, and that's what you signed up for, so you have to pay that off. Alrighty. That is it for the Facebook questions, and that is a little over an hour. So I guess we will call that a day. Once more, the songs, all the Ramsey adjacent songs right there in the music playlist. You go to my page, youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney, and scroll down. Past videos, past Oak Island, past live stream, past Ramsey Coach, which is this show. And there's some highlights in there as well. And go to the music playlist, and you get the Baby Steppin' song. A parody of sorts of Dua Lipa's I'm Levitating, I'm Baby Stepping. Jade Warshaw's song, which is I Fought the Law. Rachel Crew's song, which is, and I guess that's why they call it the blues. I guess that's what we all watch, Rachel Crew. See how I did that there? And John Deloney. To My Sharona. And the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps song, the original Baby Steps song. And that is to love yourself. That is, if you want to have financial peace, then you should do Dave's Baby Steps. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Alrighty, and so Dave Ramsey Show, after show. I used to do them every day back in 8/24/22, so about a year ago. I was doing them every day, and that was my last one for a while, because I moved and then I broke my right humerus, which is bone right there. Oh, you can't see it. That bone right there. And in your upper arm bone. And so I could not do those, and so eventually started doing them here and there when I was off work. And so now I still do them when I'm off work. But otherwise, I work during the day. So I work during the entire time the chat is on, or almost the entire time the chat is on, and the Ramsey Show video is playing, and of course 2 more hours after the video is over. So not really effective to do an after show at that time. So I'm gonna do them on weekdays that I am off. Did the last one on the 15th because I was off for Veterans Day float day to pick, because Veterans Day on a Saturday, and they give it to us off anyway, so we had to pick another day. So I picked another day. Alright, what else was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my plugs again. Let's see if I can get that and click on that. There we go, there they are. I am Coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you got money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, then you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. That's CALENDLY.com/CoachSteveMoney. The link is in the video description below. And then, like, if you can't see your own situation in with the baby steps, I can. Trust me. I will tell you how your current situation fits in with the baby steps. Alrighty. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. Any questions about financial coaching or the Ramsey stuff or anything on my YouTube channel at all, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Put stuff on there every so often. And this YouTube channel is, of course, youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Make smart financial decisions every day.